I'm not making an opening statement today. No, I'm kidding. How are you guys? Hi, Percy. How are you, bud? Good. Nice to see you. Good to be back. This game has started. You could see a little bit of nerves. Didn't have any rhythm. We were fouling, being really aggressive. You could say they wanted it so much that we were trying a little bit too hard. Able to get into a timeout. Everybody was in foul trouble and just told them just sit back, take a deep breath. We went in, we played zone, and then we went on a 15-1 run, I think, at the end of the first half, which got us to get momentum, take control of the game, and was really proud of how the guys responded. Weber's a very good offensive team. Dylan Jones is preseason player of the year in their league. He's, a guy who can find guys, and we defended the three-point line well. That's what we wanted to do. And for the most part, we broke down a couple times. As coaches, you never want to see them make one when you say that's what you want to do. But to hold them for 4-23, I thought was a big part of the game tonight, and us finishing with rebounding. So really excited and happy for our guys.
You called the beginning of the year the double-headed monster, the dual-head monster.
Yeah.
It just looked like that played out exactly like that. With Braxton getting in foul trouble, sending in Frank, he played well. Frank fouls out, Braxton able to come in, you just don't drop off.
They're just, both of them are so unique, and they protect the paint, and they rebound. I mean, bottom line is we held them to a low percentage, but I think they only had one second chance point, which was big. Our guys really responded, but those two guys, they solve a lot of problems with our team, especially on the defensive end.
Well, what happened to Noah?
Noah did a little Euro step at the end of the half, and sprained his whatever, just bothered him. So we just said, just sit out and put Cole in there and Keon. And better be safe than sorry. And Cole was cramping, and so more electrolytes or pickle juice, one of the two. They say that helps.
Hey, obviously every game will be different, but just the idea of starting with the man, and if things go sort of off, sideways, then you go to the zone to really shut teams down.
You know what? We have a very long and athletic team. Guys came from really good man-to-man programs. Our staff's done a good job, teaching how we want to play it. We got a little bit too aggressive today, and they call those fouls, so that's something that we got to learn. But it can be great for us. We feel comfortable in it. But I was concerned about the zone, and they did a really good job. That's a funny thing. You never know how they're going to respond, and those guys really responded well tonight.
From a team perspective, this is the fewest points you've allowed in the season over since you've been here. Do you feel like this is a cohesive unit that's kind of clicked maybe earlier than other teams?
I just think these guys take pride. We emphasize a lot on the defensive end, and that's where we want to, hang our hat. And also, great defense can be our best offense. We're pretty good in transition. And so, I was just, we talked about transition defense. They only scored 2 points in transition, and we try to hold them 5 threes or less, and we held them to 4. And those are winning numbers for us, regardless of who we play, and they executed that tonight.
In the first half, it just seemed like you guys were settling for jump shots quite a bit, and things really started to change when you started going into the hole. Cole going in real hard, Noah going in real hard, TJ going in.
Yeah, you know what? We have a motion offense, which is supposed to open up the middle where we can attack. We were standing a little bit, and I think that was a little bit due to the nerves. We weren't moving. In the second half, we had a couple possessions where we moved it, what we're supposed to do, and we were able to attack the middle and get all the way to the basket. We've got, especially when we have 3 guards out there, we become pretty dynamic with that. It was a lack of movement, not necessarily ball movement, player movement.
Just the things that you saw from Keon Brooks in his debut or what?
I just, he's just an unselfish player. He rebounded. I believe, listen, you're at a new place playing your first college basketball game in a new environment. There's going to be the nerves, and I think he's an 85% foul shooter. So he just had one of those days. But the one thing that you can do is you can depend on him, and I can say that for a lot of our players. You can depend on them, and it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be roses. We were down 6 with whatever, and those guys responded. And that was the learning moment tonight with our team, is how we responded. And we're going to be in games like that. And the tough teams, great teams, find a way. And they did. They bonded together and did it.
Did you have to talk to Keon a little bit when you pulled him off?
I took him out early. I wanted him to be the second one. I'd be like, buddy, you've been playing your whole life. Are you having fun? I had them lean back, breathe, and put their leg over there. Just relax, breathe. We're good. So it's such a mental thing, and they just want it so bad, and you realize that you got to let it happen, and to be a great team, it's got to be together, and that was the fun thing, is seeing these guys just bond together.
Mia starting again over Frank. Is there anything to read with one starting over the other?
No, I think both of them bring something different to the game. I've said this before, and everybody, I know it's the corny coaching deal when they say you have 8 starters, but literally, Noah Williams went out tonight with an injury, and we played PJ and Cole and Keon Minifield. That's great teams have great depth. We have great depth. And so on any given night, Frank could start and Braxton can come in, but knowing that you have a defensive enforcer and an offensive enforcing type of player is a luxury. A lot of teams are lucky to have one. We have 2.
The things that you saw from PJ at the point guard spot in the second half.
You know what? He made a couple. PJ's he's Tom Cruise in Top Gun, the first one, not the second one. And I say that like he's the guy who's going to circle. He does some stuff where he's going to make some mistakes, but I love when he's aggressive. He wouldn't be, he's Maverick. Like he wants to go. Like he missed the one layup, and he could see him. And then he comes back and he makes the right one. He takes the charge. Like you can't. He's going to make some mistakes, but boy, he's all out for the win, and he's giving you 110%. And I just love I just love how he plays. He's playing with his heart. He's just playing for his teammates. He's making some mistakes. We'll clean those up. But I loved his effort, the exhibition game in this last game for sure.
Do you think your guards may have to practice the alley-oop lob there to big?
When he threw it underhand, I was literally going, no, time and score. But those are all learning lessons. He hasn't played the point in a long time. He was put out there, but we were able to win the game and have a lot of great lessons to learn, and excited for that.
Keon Minifield, it's tough to take your eyes off of him. When he does something, it just seems to explode. It just happens really, really quick.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, when I was in college, they called me the human hack. I averaged a foul every 4.7 minutes I played my junior year. I think he had 3 fouls in maybe 5.5 minutes to me, but he's special. That kid is offensively, when he came in, like he just knows how to do it. He's going to have an exciting year for us. You can just tell he just has it. We went 1-4 low, a little bit like Jalen Noel, and you could just see him dancing with the ball. Got a lot to learn, but he's a special talent.
Are you getting calls like, where'd you find this guy?
That's when you have a good staff like I do. You have great assistant coaches who know to find talent, and that's what it's all about. You get a special player like that.
How did you find him? Did you see him in Summers?
Oh, we were at EYBL watching. He led the EYBL in scoring. We were there to see another kid. We have a few kids from the City Rocks. They were playing, and he had 20 in the second half. And you were kind of like, oh my gosh, what was I watching? And a couple coaches from the area that he's from, I don't want to get into the schools. I said, hey, the name of the coach, that kid's unbelievable, thinking like, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And you found out that who was recruiting him, they weren't recruiting him. Because a lot of times you don't go in those areas because, the local teams, they're never leaving. And we had a couple of connections. Our staff did a great job recruiting him and believe he's going to be the biggest sleeper in the freshman class. He's that special.
Do you think you guys will be able to play your man-to-man defense the way it's being called this year?
Yeah, we'll be able to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last one for Coach.
Go Dogs! Let's go! Come on, big year. Fans, come! Let's go.